Hey fishers, we've got some great fishing reports over the last couple of weeks. Haven't done any for a couple of weeks because I felt like a bit of a break, to be honest with you. And one of the issues this time of year is lots of fish get caught, but mainly because there's heaps of people out there on the water. And it can be good and it can be a bad thing. One of the issues you have is when you're fishing the river, for example, you pull up to a snag, you fish that snag and don't get a bite. Somebody's probably fished it 2 minutes before you. So you just got to remember all those things. You've got to put it in the big picture. And speaking of the river, we're standing here today in the river and it's absolutely brilliant. I kid you not. It looks fantastic. It's clear, it's cool. Even the shrimp are starting to move a little bit. So things are really fantastic at the moment. The Murrumbidgee River from Gundagai down to Narrandera doesn't get too much better than what it is at the moment. Better off from Wagga down to Berrinbed Weir in that area, or down to the dairy. Quite a few good fish coming out of it there. Bait, lures, doesn't seem to matter. Whatever you want to do. Even surface lure action is quite good at the moment. Really happy with the whole scenario. Old Man Creek, a little bit of activity there. It's a bit high and a bit low the next day, so it's really hard to sort of work it out. It's just a matter of being out there on the water and checking it out for yourself. But there's some good holes when it's low, and when it's high they seem to be reasonably active. When the creek itself is low, you'll use a lot of lures. You'll put a bit of a bait in a hole. You might pick up a fish or two if you're lucky, but it's a matter of moving from hole to catch some fish, because there's a lot of shallow water in Old Man Creek, which is a little bit disappointing. Now that they've got the weir on there, it's very inconsistent, but we'll take it as it is. Talking to Maso down in Albury, and he tells me Dartmouth's mediocre at the moment. The Hume Weir's real hit and miss. A few redfin coming out, but not everybody's catching them. You get 10 boats on the water, 2 or 3 come back with a feeder readies, the rest will come back with nothing. That doesn't seem to surprise me this time of year, mainly because of the boat traffic on the weir and also on the rest of the lakes. Mulwala, a little bit of activity out of there. We seem to be pretty happy with it at the moment. Again, a lot of boat traffic, a lot of skiers down there. Just keep in mind, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, things will ramp up again as far as a lot of fish activity. Even though we say it's good at the moment, it could be a lot better if there wasn't so many people on the water. Flowering Dam, some huge cod out of it over the last couple of weeks. Trolling, casting lures, bait fishing, doesn't seem to matter, and some very nice yellow belly as well. Late in the evening and real early in the morning, just on daylight, seems to be where most of the good catches are coming from, and a lot of cod over a metre. But keeping in mind, through the day it's tough work, especially with all the boats on the water. Tantangra hasn't been too bad. We've been getting some good reports from there. Yucca Bean's had a couple of bursts, a few good days and a couple of dead days, but again that's probably due to the weather patterns that are going through up there. We know there's a fair bit of water going into Tantangra at the moment. It's rising a little bit, so it's pretty promising, and it should be really good over the next couple of weeks. Burrinjuck Dam was fantastic up until about 2 weeks ago. Then, because it started to drop rapidly, we got a situation where it slowed down a little bit, but it's just starting to come back on again now. The fish are getting used to the falling water, and they'll get back into a normal mode, and I think we'll get some really good results out of there. Redfin are getting caught in most places, so we're pretty happy with that. Flowering's reasonable on redfin. Talbingo, Topasu City, very good on redfin. Burrinjuck good on redfin, and the Hume Weir, like I said, a little bit patchy. South Coast have had a couple of good days weather-wise, and there's a few game fish starting to get caught, and the estuaries are fishing exceptionally well now. They're settled down after all that rain. So as you can see, we've got a fair bit of activity around us, and things are going to kick right back into gear over the next week or so. So good luck and good fishing. This is the Compleat English Fishing Report for this week.